The journey begins. Listen to me carefully. That vision you're carrying deep within your soul, that aspiration that consumes your thoughts when the world goes quiet, I need you to understand something profound. It's achievable. Some of you sitting here, listening to these words right now, you already sense this truth in your bones. You feel it pulsing through your veins. But here's what nobody wants to talk about, what they don't show you in the highlight reels and success stories. This path is brutal. It's unforgiving. It's one of the hardest journeys you'll ever undertake. Transforming your existence from what it is today into what it could be tomorrow isn't a weekend project. It's not a casual hobby. This is a complete metamorphosis, and metamorphosis is never comfortable. When you commit yourself to pursuing your vision with everything you've got, you're signing up for something that will test every fiber of your being. The gauntlet you must walk. In this pursuit, this relentless chase toward the life you were born to live, you're going to encounter obstacles that seem specifically designed to break you. You're going to face rejection that cuts deep. You're going to experience setbacks that leave you breathless. You're going to endure suffering that makes you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. There will be dark nights. Oh, there will be such dark nights when you'll find yourself on your knees, tears streaming down your face, looking up at the ceiling and crying out, "Why? Why is this my portion? I'm not out here trying to hurt anyone. I'm just trying to build something meaningful, to provide for the people I love, to leave a mark on this world that matters. I'm not taking from others or causing harm. So why does this keep happening to me?" For every single person hearing this who has walked through the furnace of hardship, do not abandon your vision. The storms will rage. Make no mistake about that. But here's the truth they're not telling you. Storms don't move in permanently. They blow through the challenging seasons, the crushing disappointments, the devastating losses. They arrive not to destroy you, but to develop you. They're not your final destination. They're passages on your journey, redefining excellence. Let me shatter an illusion for you right now. True excellence, genuine greatness, isn't some mystical, unreachable quality possessed only by a chosen few. It's not locked away in an ivory tower, available only to those born under lucky stars. It's not reserved for people with perfect circumstances or flawless beginnings. Greatness is a seed planted in every human heart. It lives in you right now. This is critical. You must internalize this belief. You are the one, not someone else, not the person with more connections, more resources, or a better starting point. You. Look around at the landscape of human existence. The vast majority of people follow a predictable pattern. They form families. They clock in and clock out of jobs. They pay bills. They watch television. And then one day, their time runs out. And you know what the tragedy is? Somewhere along the way, they stopped evolving. They stopped expanding. They stopped pushing against their limitations. They settled into comfort zones that became coffins for their potential. The complaint trap. Here's what's fascinating. Countless people will spend hours, days, even years, complaining about their circumstances. They'll tell anyone who'll listen about how unfair life is, how the system is rigged, how they never got their chance. They'll craft elaborate narratives about why they're stuck. But when you present them with a solution, when you offer them tools, resources, strategies to transform their situation, suddenly they're too busy. The timing isn't right. They'll get to it eventually, maybe next year, maybe when things calm down. Most people will never work on manifesting their visions. Want to know why? The two fears that cage humanity. Fear number one, the terror of failure. What if I give this everything I've got and it still doesn't work out? What if I invest my time, my money, my energy, my reputation, and I end up with nothing? What will people say? What will I tell myself? Fear number two, the terror of success. What if this actually works? What if I get what I'm asking for and I'm not equipped to handle it? What if I reach the top of the mountain and realize I don't know how to live up there? What if success exposes me? These fears are prison guards, and they've locked up more potential than any physical barrier ever could. People trapped by these fears aren't willing to take chances. They've calculated that the risk of trying is greater than the pain of wondering what if for the rest of their lives. And you know what? They're wrong. They're catastrophically wrong, but they'll never know it because they'll never test it. The identity crisis. Here's a painful truth bomb. You've dedicated enormous amounts of energy trying to understand other people. You've studied them like subjects in a laboratory. You've observed their habits, their preferences, their reactions. You've molded yourself to fit their expectations. You've transformed yourself into whatever shape you thought would earn their approval, their acceptance, their applause. You know their favorite foods, their political views, their taste in music, their sense of humor. You can predict their reactions with eerie accuracy. But answer me this. When was the last time you devoted that same level of attention to understanding yourself? You've become an expert on everyone except the person staring back at you from the mirror. You've invested so heavily in being liked that you've forgotten how to simply be. I'm issuing you a challenge right now. Spend intentional time in solitude. Get to know yourself. Really know yourself. This isn't optional if you're serious about your vision. It's absolutely essential. And part of this journey involves a difficult but necessary action: removing toxic influences from your sphere. If you're surrounded by people who mock your ambitions, who laugh at your goals, who constantly remind you of your past failures, who drain your energy rather than fuel it, you need to create distance. This isn't cruelty. This is survival. This is wisdom. You cannot soar with eagles if you're constantly being pulled down by people who've decided that crawling is good enough. The people running towards something. There's a completely different breed of human walking this planet. These are the individuals who've decided that their visions aren't negotiable. Life, for them, carries a profound intensity and purpose that others simply don't experience. When you transform into the person you're capable of becoming, when you step fully into your authentic power, something remarkable happens. You begin to naturally differentiate yourself from the masses. You develop a distinctive energy, a unique frequency, an unmistakable presence. As long as you're imitating others, you'll only ever be an imitation. You might become the best copy in existence, but you'll never experience the soul-deep satisfaction of being an original masterpiece. Define your value system. I'm challenging you, right here, right now, to get crystal clear on what you stand for. Define your values. Articulate your principles. Know what you believe and why you believe it. And understand this going in. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone will support your journey. Not everyone will see what you see. Many will think you're delusional. Some will actively work against you. This is necessary information, not discouraging information. You are not common. You are not ordinary. You are not meant to live a default existence. There's something uncommon flowing through your veins, and the sooner you accept this, the sooner you can align yourself with others who operate at your frequency. You need to surround yourself with people who are ravenous for growth, people who are unstoppable in their pursuit, people who are unreasonable in their expectations of themselves, people who look at the normal life and say, "That's not enough. I want more. I deserve more. I'm capable of more." Attach yourself to winners, the individuals who are actively living their visions, who've transformed their dreams from imagination into reality. These are magnetic forces. They're not sitting around hoping things improve. They're not waiting for permission or perfect conditions. They've internalized a fundamental truth. If transformation is going to happen, they must make it happen. Nobody's coming to rescue you. No fairy godmother is going to wave a wand and fix your situation. The cavalry isn't on its way. You are the hero of your story, or there is no hero. The investment that changes everything. If you genuinely want to achieve things you've never achieved, if you want to become someone you've never been, if you want to experience a level of success that currently seems impossible, then I'm telling you plainly, invest in yourself, invest in your mind, invest in your development. This is non-negotiable. This is the price of admission to the life you say you want. Someone else's perception of your potential doesn't have to become your ceiling. Their limitations don't have to become your limitations. Their doubts don't have to become your reality. You don't have to navigate life wearing a victim's badge. You don't have to define yourself by your disappointments. Even when you face rejection after rejection, setback after setback, you must cultivate an unshakable knowing within yourself. I can do this. Even if nobody else recognizes it, especially if nobody else recognizes it, you must see it for yourself. This belief must become your North Star. This conviction must become your foundation. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. This is what I believe about myself, and I'm prepared to stake everything on it. Period. No negotiations, no compromises, no backup plans that give me permission to quit. The commitment, regardless of how dire circumstances become, regardless of how bleak the situation appears, I'm going to make it. I want to embody an idea. I want to symbolize possibility itself. I want my existence to be living proof that transformation is real, that comebacks are possible, that underdogs can win, that dreams can materialize into reality. Some of you, right now, in this moment, you're standing at a threshold. You want to ascend to the next level of your life. You want to become the professional you've imagined. You want to achieve the position you've envisioned. You want to reach the destination you've set for yourself. Here's what you need to hear. You cannot arrive at that elevated level until you start treating your mind like the most valuable asset you possess. Are you reading books that expand your thinking? Are you attending conferences and seminars that challenge your worldview? Are you listening to content that elevates your consciousness? Are you having conversations that sharpen your intellect? Or are you doing what most people do, consuming whatever's trending, scrolling mindlessly through social media, binge-watching content that entertains but doesn't transform, filling your mental space with noise instead of nourishment? The dare. I'm issuing you 3 dares right now. Dare number 1. Invest time in personal development, not leftover time, not when you get around to it time. Priority time, sacred time. Dare number 2, embrace solitude. Turn off the distractions, silence the notifications, sit with yourself in the quiet. This is where self-discovery happens. This is where clarity emerges. Dare number 3, dedicate 1 hour, just 60 minutes, to genuine self-examination. Who are you really? What do you actually want? What are you willing to sacrifice to get it? What legacy do you want to leave? The transformation. When you finally step into who you were created to be, when you fully inhabit the person you were designed to become, when you stop performing for others and start living as your authentic self, something powerful occurs. You naturally begin to separate yourself from the crowd. Not through arrogance or superiority, but through frequency. You're simply vibrating at a different level. I'm challenging you to reach a place where other people's approval or disapproval becomes irrelevant background noise. Why? Because you're no longer in the business of making everyone comfortable. You're no longer contorting yourself to fit into spaces you've outgrown. You're too busy ascending. You're too focused on becoming. You're too committed to your vision to be distracted by people who aren't moving in the same direction. Feed your mind. Your mind is hungry. Are you feeding it excellence or garbage? Are you nourishing it with wisdom or starving it of substance? If you're still talking about your vision, if you're still discussing your goals, but you haven't taken any concrete action, then you're just a storyteller, not a creator. Talk is the cheapest commodity on earth. Action is where value is created. The first step. You know what the most powerful move you can make right now is? Take the first step. Not the perfect step, not the fully planned out step, just the first one. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates progress. Progress creates confidence. Confidence creates more action. You can make the people who raised you overflow with pride. You can bring honor to the institutions that shaped you. You can impact countless lives in ways you haven't even imagined yet. Your presence on this planet can leave an imprint that echoes long after you're gone. The world will genuinely be different because you pass through it, but only if you decide to be different. Protect your vision. Do not allow anyone to steal your vision. After you experience rejection, and you will experience rejection, after you hear no repeatedly, and you will hear no repeatedly, after you schedule meetings where nobody shows up, after people you counted on fail to come through, after promises are broken and support evaporates, what then? Most people interpret these experiences as signs to quit. They read these setbacks as the universe telling them to give up, to be realistic, to accept their lot. But what if you develop the kind of mindset that interprets these obstacles differently? What if rejection just means you're getting closer to the yes that will change everything? What if failure is just data, feedback, information you needed to course correct? What if every closed door is actually protection from a path that wasn't meant for you, clearing the way for the right opportunity when nobody believes? Picture this scenario. Nobody believes in your vision. Your family thinks you're foolish. Your friends think you're wasting your time. You've experienced loss after loss after loss. Your resources are depleted. The lights might literally get shut off. The pressure is crushing. Picture this scenario. Nobody believes in your vision. Your family thinks you're foolish. Your friends think you're wasting your time. You've experienced loss after loss after loss. Your resources are depleted. The lights might literally get shut off. The pressure is crushing. But even in that moment, especially in that moment, you pull out your vision. You review it. You speak to it. You reaffirm your commitment to it. And you declare with absolute conviction, it's not finished until I win. Not if you win, until you win. That's not optimism, that's determination. That's not hope, that's decision. The declaration. You can manifest the life you've imagined. You can transform your vision from invisible to visible. You can bridge the gap between where you are and where you're meant to be. But it requires something from you. It demands that you become someone you've never been. It insists that you develop capacities you don't currently possess. It calls for you to rise to a version of yourself that's currently dormant, waiting to be awakened. The question isn't whether your vision is possible. The question is whether you're willing to become the person capable of bringing it to life. Every master was once a beginner. Every expert was once an amateur. Every success story was once an untested dream, held by someone who decided that their vision mattered more than their fear. Your moment. This is your moment to choose. Right here, right now. You can continue living the life you've been living, following the patterns you've been following, getting the results you've been getting. That's one option, and nobody can force you to choose differently. Or you can decide, really decide with every ounce of your being that you're done settling, you're done playing small, you're done dimming your light to make others comfortable, you're done waiting for permission to pursue what sets your soul on fire. The person you're capable of becoming is on the other side of consistent, committed action. That person is wiser, stronger, more resilient, more focused, more disciplined, more courageous. That person has everything you currently want. That person has overcome everything you're currently afraid of. And here's the secret, that person is you, not some future far-off version. The real you, the unfiltered, undiluted, uncompromised you. The builder's mentality. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions are a myth, a fairy tale, a mirage that keeps you perpetually preparing but never performing. Builders don't wait for ideal circumstances. They work with what they have. They start where they are. They use what's available. They make progress in the rain, in the heat, in the cold, in the chaos. The life you want doesn't get built during the easy seasons. It gets built during the seasons that test you. It gets constructed in the early mornings when you're exhausted. It gets assembled in the late nights when you'd rather be resting. It gets crafted in the moments when quitting would be so much easier than continuing. Every repetition counts. Every small action accumulates. Every choice to push forward instead of giving up adds another brick to the foundation of your future. Rewrite your story. Here's something powerful. Your past doesn't have to dictate your future. Your history doesn't have to become your destiny. Where you've been is not where you have to stay. You are not imprisoned by your previous decisions. You are not chained to your former identity. You are not limited by what you used to believe about yourself. Every single day you have the opportunity to author a new chapter. You can choose different actions. You can form different habits. You can pursue different goals. You can become a different person, not by abandoning who you are at your core, but by removing all the false layers that have been hiding your true self. The compound effect. Understand this principle. Small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results over time. This is one of the most underestimated forces in the universe. Reading 10 pages a day doesn't sound impressive, but over a year, that's dozens of books and thousands of pages of knowledge. Working on your skill for 30 minutes a day seems minimal, but over a year, that's over 180 hours of practice, enough to become proficient at almost anything. Stop looking for the one massive action that will change everything overnight. Start looking for the small, sustainable actions you can perform consistently that will change everything over time. The lonely path. Let me be honest with you about something. This journey can be lonely. As you evolve, as you grow, as you transform, you might notice that some relationships naturally fall away. Not because you're better than anyone, but because you're different than you used to be. This is natural. This is normal. This is part of the process. Not everyone is meant to go with you to your next level. Some people were only meant to be part of certain chapters, not the entire story, and that's okay. Honor what those relationships taught you, but don't cling to connections that no longer serve your evolution. The right people, your true tribe, will emerge as you become who you're meant to be. These individuals will celebrate your growth, not resent it. They'll challenge you to reach higher, not pressure you to stay small. They'll see your vision and help you build it, not mock it and try to demolish it. The uncomfortable truth. Here's something nobody wants to say out loud. Growth is uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. If transformation felt easy and comfortable, everyone would do it. The discomfort you feel when you're pushing beyond your current capabilities, that's not a warning sign to stop. That's confirmation that you're expanding. That's evidence that you're stretching. That's proof that you're accessing new capacity. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly through a comfortable process. It gets sealed in darkness. It liquefies. It completely breaks down before it rebuilds. But that agonizing process is precisely what gives it wings. Your challenges are giving you wings. Your struggles are building your strength. Your obstacles are developing your character. One day, you'll look back on this season and realize it wasn't trying to destroy you. It was preparing you. The victory lap. Imagine yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You've put in the work. You've stayed consistent. You've refused to quit despite countless reasons to do so. You're now living the life you once only imagined. You've achieved the goals that once seemed impossible. You've become the person you once barely believed you could be. How does that version of you feel about the decision your current self is about to make? About whether to keep pushing or to give up? About whether to take that first step or to stay comfortable? That future version of you, the one living your dream, is either thanking you right now for your decision to persist or mourning the fact that you gave up right before the breakthrough. The final call. This is it. This is your call to action. This is your moment of decision. This is where you choose who you're going to be and what your life is going to represent. You can coast, you can settle, you can accept good enough. Millions of people make that choice, and there's no judgment in it. It's a valid option. Or you can commit, you can fight. You can decide that you didn't come this far to only come this far. You can choose to honor the dream that won't leave you alone, the vision that keeps pulling you forward, the calling that whispers your name in quiet moments. Live your vision, build your dream, become yourself. Not someday, not eventually, not when conditions are perfect. Now, today, this moment. Take the first step, then take the next one, then the one after that. String together enough steps, and you'll find yourself standing exactly where you always knew you belonged. The world is waiting for what only you can bring. Your unique perspective, your specific gifts, your particular story. Nobody else can contribute what you can contribute. Nobody else can impact the people you're meant to impact. Nobody else can fulfill the purpose you're meant to fulfill. The ultimate truth. Here's the ultimate truth, the one that makes all of this worth it. You can live your vision. Not might, not maybe, not possibly. You can. It's not a matter of luck. It's not about who you know or where you started. It's about who you're willing to become and what you're willing to sacrifice to get there. Every person living an extraordinary life once stood exactly where you're standing right now. At the crossroads of comfort and growth, familiarity and possibility, the known and the unknown. They chose to step forward into uncertainty. They chose to bet on themselves. They chose to trust their vision more than they trusted their doubts. And now, it's your turn to choose. What will it be? What story are you going to tell with your life? What legacy are you going to leave? What dreams are you going to chase? What version of yourself are you going to become? The answer begins with a decision. The decision leads to action. The action creates momentum. The momentum builds results. The results transform your life.